If you jab against ButterBean, you will land the punch, but people do that for a couple of rounds, and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
It takes long. Oh, it didn't take long for ButterBean. I don't think he's with it. That's it. He's out. On his feet, he's out.
What the hell was that? Hello friends, you are on the MMA Iron channel. In professional boxing, there is an opinion that a fighter should look, albeit not like a bodybuilder, but be like him. Our today's hero named Eric Cash, nicknamed ButterBean, is ready to argue with such a statement, because during his long career, this fat man knocked out a bunch of fighters with the body of a bodybuilder. And today I have collected a selection of the brightest moments when this legendary fat man cut down Jocks in the ring, breaking all the stereotypes that are, so be sure to watch this video to the end and do not forget to like. Well, let's go.
Let's get ready to rumble!
But before we start describing his fights, let's get to know our hero better. Eric was born in 1966 in America, and our hero had weight problems in early childhood. Because of this, peers often mocked him at school, which actually forced the guy to take up boxing in order to be able to stand up for himself. And surprisingly, at his very first competitions, he knocked out almost all of his opponents. Then our hero realized that he had a great talent in his fists. In amateur sports, ButterBean won 56 fights, 36 of which he finished ahead of schedule, and only 5 times Eric was defeated. In 1994, he switched to professional sports, where he basically fights no more than 6 rounds. You ask why? Because Eric, because of his huge mass, ran out of steam after 1 round, so his team decided not to take protracted fights for the round, and after the number 6 would be completely reduced by 4. Yes, I understand, it's not enough, but our hero felt literally like a king in such a range, knocking out everyone without exception. In professional sports, Eric had 91 fights, 77 victories, 58 of which he showed a real performance. Of course, I can't show everything, but for you I picked up the top of the brightest moments when this legendary fat man knocked out the Jocks, so let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the heavyweight division of this bout, scheduled for...
And so, in 1994, our fat man has 9 fights in his career against an athletic boxer named Duck Norris, who lost to Eric in the past, but this time he was determined to take revenge. But his plans were ruined in the second. A month later, ButterBean met an even more inflated boxer named Paul Springer. Just look at this man's trapeze, it's a pity that muscles have never been a problem for Eric. On the contrary, ButterBean seemed to be even more motivated by going up against such fighters.
Paul Springer's using. You know, like most in their debut, Paul Springer can probably give it, but can he take it?
He just about lifted Paul Springer off the canvas, and this one is stopped right away. Paul Springer with his post-fight comment. And Eric ButterBean-ish, who is just 8 fights now in a professional...
ButterBean, Itten. In 1998, Eric held a rematch against a fighter named Bill Itten, who in the first fight was able to go to the end, and as a result a draw was recorded. Of course, it was fundamentally important for our hero to complete the revenge in his favor, and preferably very brightly, and that's how it all ended.
Took more than 1 mule punch from Bean, several indeed to drop him.
Several mule kicks that he took, and a very strong puncher from Bean. Very impressive.
I'm sure that Eaton said, my mules don't kick that hard. They don't make mules that big and bitter.
Take them out, please out.
In 2000, ButterBean faced the most serious opponent in his career under the name George Lindberger, and as a result, our hero destroyed his opponents with the first combination.
If you jab against ButterBean, you will land the punch, but people do that for a couple of rounds, and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
punch.
ButterBean still going after. Still would be the because he told him he's going to take care of business.
I don't know how quick that was. I think that was about...
After a little time, our hero decides to test his strength on another bodybuilder named Louis Monaco, for whom it was only the second fight in his career.
There is ButterBean. He will race across the ring and attempt to get Monaco down quickly, and by golly, just the opposite of ButterBean. He lands a good right hand. Oh, there goes Monaco. Second knockdown in this. There goes Monaco. And I mean, there he goes. Well, that does it for this fight. ButterBean gets the job done.
He threw 3 right hands and got 3 knockdowns.
Well, he's a scary figure. I'm not saying he's going to beat anybody great right now, but when he gets in there against the guy he can hit, he gets him. And I know.
A couple rounds, and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
He knows that now. It's
Paul Springer's using. You know, like most in their debut, Paul Springer can probably give it, but can he take
right away. Paul Springer with his post-fight comment, and Eric ButterBean-esh, who is just 8 fights now in a...
Well, it took more than one mule punch from Bean, several indeed, to drop him.
Several mule kicks that he took, and very strong puncher from Bean. Very impressive.
I'm sure that he said, my mules don't kick that hard. They don't make mules that big.